We want greater delivery. You remember, say His Excellency been on declared this year as a year of accelerated delivery. So we want to ensure that Freetown is not left out of that delivery matrix. We want for zooming on her. Because if Freetown gets it right, Freetown are an embodiment of Sierra Leone in more ways than one. We Boku visitor then can. This is what they see. So one for focused development and I also more. So our people from Freetown to Mongo to Fairo want delivery and they want accelerated development delivery. So we can't wait.
You talk about development goals. What are some of the areas development areas where the new ministry they focus on?
Every area. The same way where you see the northern minister, the Kanaya, and say, look, this microcredit owner they do Munafa fund. Me say one let me people then my region get this agriculture. Then they say look, we don't get so bowling land. We want investment now. We healthcare. You have somebody now who will not. They only left to the discretion of the Ministry of Health. You now get somebody where they say, look, I want my region to benefit more. So we are zooming in on Western area in a big way, like never before.
If the minister they zoom in on the Western area, what think will be the role of the mayor in development in the Western area?
Well, they can complement each other. Ever harder, they can complement each other. In fact, that's the best synergy we want to build in the process.
Yes, subscribe. You always dey watch we program them, but you not subscribe yet to the channel. All wetin you get for do, press this red subscribe button and then you come over here and press this bell. To the bell option, press this one with all. And done. And no get for cost you anything. When you do this, na sign for show say you dey support we for make we do more. Thank you for we don help we for share this program. Yeah, God bless you.
And the program is still listening to now Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We will continue with the program, and I want to welcome to the studio this morning the Minister of Information and Communication, Mohamed Rahman Swari. Good morning, Mr. Minister, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mabel. Good morning. I'm glad for there.
Well, as I tell you earlier na the headline them, the minister there this morning for Kangiwe general updates on waiting on the happen na the government, this PNTM, ranging from different things the way we don't see they happen from the cabinet reshuffle. We get for can talk again about the new agreements where Salone don't get with the SL mining company and other issues then we be done they come up this PNTM. But before we can talk about the latest developments na government way na the agreements where Salone don't get with SL mining, let me just go back. So other issues then maybe don't happen before this new development. We go start from the reshuffling where we see the Office of the President don't do for the second term inside this month. As we see week before last, they've been doing reshuffling. Then this weekend again, we see another position come out for people wait for work for government. But let me just take on from the backdrop that then people are working work for government can go into contracts with the president in terms of performance.
Yep.
And we see the president don't do in cabinet reshuffle. We see inside that cabinet reshuffle, some people get promotion, some man get demotion, and we see the cycling also will take place inside the reshuffle the president's been do. But let me just know first how the government assess the performance of the people where the president reshuffle now in recent cabinet reshuffle we do.
Okay, so let's set a context to this conversation. I'm glad to say nobody know the question. His Excellency in power again by the 1991 Constitution for appoint and relieve people then of in duties, for appoint people then we feel say go able help them for actualizing vision, for make the country go before, and for pull the people then or replace them where things say don't work hard enough and they need a break. So another kind of power His Excellency exercise as to whether somebody get promoted or demoted. I don't want to go for that debate because I think anybody will make on His Excellency's cabinet list we're in a big promotion because this is a country of 7.3 million people. For let them single you out for appointment, not because it's a book pass all, not because now you pass all, not because now you get a magic bullet for solve all the country problem. So everybody within a cabinet now well deserved appointment. So and the president's prerogative for move cabinet ministers about because he don't know we fairly well. Remember, he's done 3 years in office. He don't work with each and everybody who he don't appoint. He don't evaluate them. He don't evaluate to all. So, I mean, we'll get for expedite and prerogative. They may not think say anybody has been demoted. I mean, the fact that you make on the president's cabinet list in a country of 7.3 million people then, I mean, it's no mean feat. That's a huge privilege, a huge opportunity for making your own contribution towards national renewal.
Now we look at one of the ministries, then we then do reshuffle now the chief minister's office, and this office from where there are points Professor David Francis. Now one way people think in a new one, do debate they go around saying one way we don't exist for long term. Now we don't see the Minister of Finance don't go now this ministry, but people still ask the function of the chief minister.
Really? When they ask 3 years on? I mean, I'm surprised. Me then question and I'm making face on all the time. Then question they be no cease for the acts. But just for reiterate the very, very significant point of the importance of the chief minister in role. I mean, every at the risk of repeating myself. When I remember, so when I don't get me now up same time for all talk about this and related issues. The chief minister now an enabler for almost all ministries, departments, and agencies. Now an enabler. I mean, particularly the person waiting at the office of the chief minister now. The person who don't be minister of finance. I mean, a development specialist. They don't be around for the longest time. So it clearly understands some of the key and critical challenges within most ministries, departments, and agencies. So he's an enabler. While you have issues, when I can able ask in expertise, it will support una for resolver. Again, it coordinates the efforts of various ministries for make sure, we able benefit from the synergies, let us work at cross purposes. Law work in the spirit of it coordinates, it follow up, it do many things. The president travels overseas, people then get something there. Somebody has to ensure that it take them thing and they to bed to logical conclusions. So the chief minister in role enormous. They are, apart from the fact that they advise the president, they advise the presidency, right? Both the vice president and the president. So I mean, law will note that one day, not to position where they create simply because there has to be a position.
You make mention, say, the person where they don't appoint now as chief minister, and somebody where don't act as minister and know the dynamics. But that way been there before, now somebody will not be act it as minister in this country. Are you can describing performance now that rule before they change them?
Me?
Yes. As minister of government.
Well, very interesting, like I say, that person, Professor David Francis, before in reassignment, now aiming the performance management process. I think they don't able to stamp a mark on many things. Government ministers then be known set clear performance targets for each and every government minister. Regular review sessions then been happen. Apart from that one, they don't get a couple of 2 ministerial retreats for government ministers, deputy ministers, and MDA heads then. For law able forge a single vision, law able learn for work together with civil servants, let people that are able to navigate the bureaucracy so that we'll be able to deliver results and quality services for people there. So it left in your footprints on the sands of time. Again, they work very closely that the presidency for law able support for deliver key goals there. Like during the last 60th anniversary, 60th independent anniversary commemoration. So yes, Edu, in your own beat, the world is a stage where everybody dances and lives. Yeah, but it gets assured. He's assured me he has enough energy. Where they take to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and don't forget he was this government's first designated foreign minister for Go Power one conference, and they will get holidays before His Excellency formed a government. So yes, Professor Francis carries quite a huge dose of experience and technical competencies to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation.
So in terms of capacity, waiting at the capacity of government workman them, this administration gets enough people for serve na the current cabinet?
I won't answer a question like that, Mabel.
The reason why I ask...
Vacancies and they wouldn't know
the reason why I ask, now in terms of recycling, we see the president recycle certain people where if enough people and the new one therefore don't come in if it be one for make a change instead of
So
recycling.
I would say that is I would say that a very pejorative usage of recycling. I would say reassigning. You know, me now one person will like for say the glass half full rather than half empty. You have been very negative. I mean, people then they reassign them because of proving competence and performance, proving track record and all that in there. I mean, this country, not short of people, but a good like put a team together. We tried, tested, particularly as His Excellency is in a hurry to deliver on remaining manifesto commitments.
All right, so taking out to the Ministry of Finance, for example, we see we get already 2 deputy ministers, and they will be the work with the former minister. We na JJ Safa, we now the chief minister, but a new person, we see the president do assign as minister in that particular ministry. Inside the past 3 years, then people when we don't serve as deputies, they're not capacitated enough for the minister. Now where the president's been decide for change the minister day.
So, Mr. Bowen, for ask, just before you ask me, I would have asked the same question another day. If all them people are 98.1 not competent, people them
we know they talk about 98.1.
No, the analogy. You know, if I for law gets an analogous conversation.
The analogy might be weak.
Well, so
can
I come back? It's a microcosm, the microcosm of a bigger picture one for paint. But if you're not comfortable with that, I can come straight today.
We just want for answers straight to.
Yeah, so you know mean say because you act as deputy, I mean the president in prerogative completely, very, very completely. You don't go asking it. Yeah? That the president in prerogative for appoint, whether I want for appoint, for serve at any one point in any position. And let's add this. The person way they call new person, the person who don't work in the Ministry of Finance in a very, very, very critical role over the years. As a consummate and quintessential civil servant, the new Minister of Finance, so it's a navigate the bureaucracy, undertake various courses, a highly educated.
Another question saying not capable.
No. So I'm saying, well, you are questioning the president's prerogative. Not right for appoint anybody or you want for appoint to any position. So this is a dead argument on arrival. Law go to serious in there. Listeners then say go able benefit from.
So this is not essential at all.
No, this is not important. Now the president in prerogative for appoint who I want appoint, for let help and deliver. So if you've been on there as deputy minister, I mean it is not as of right that you'll be appointed minister. I mean, so we're beating dead horse. I'm moving around in circles. Let us make progress.
I take you back to the side where you start for talk. You say in as much as the president in prerogative for sack somebody or for hire somebody at any time we want for do them. You make mention against say now the president against say and say if certain person don't work, it can take a break. It can pull him and take a break. You use the word take a break.
Yeah.
So at this time where Salone people have expectation really high for let this administration deliver as to the promises them where them be make now the manifesto we come na power with. Now attempt this for let the president they make somebody take a break. If it don't do well, as you say, if somebody don't perform highly, if you take a break. Now this at the stage where you take a break.
So the ultimate responsibility now the president gets them. Now in face it in the ballots. So law no question and prerogative for appoint the people that we believe say and in honest opinion will help them for deliver on the mandate because at the end of the day nine don't make commitments. They put a team together where are not saying a winning team. So law support the president, let able actualize the collective vision. Right. I may not mention again because you don't choose for quote me. I mentioned say the world na a stage where everybody they dance and live. Right? So it could well be me. You never know. It could be me, it could be anybody. Because all they serve at the prerogative of His Excellency. Once a thing say a need for reinforcing team, a need for reinvigorator, a need for change the pattern of play and what have you, and things say new people then go able help them for achieve that. So be it.
So Mr.
Because at the end of the day, now the product of the team, now I like them put the favorite player, now the team they all belong to. Now goal the team they want in the end for long.
So they're not able to score the goal, then they drop them. Women say the one way then they drop now because meets the threshold where the president expect in terms of performance.
I have not spoken about just scoring goals. Not only people they want, but people they need and they play various roles there, in the team. One at the same team government, the various roles there.
Earlier, I asked you the role of the chief minister, and you think say that it not be important. People are aware of and so much, and you think say what we discuss now with listeners, they're not interested in them. But even now with Facebook, people will read and write. They ask, what's the difference between the role of the chief minister and the advisor or the special advisor to president? If the chief minister is same way to doing advice.
Well, I did not you the pigeonhole this argument. Advice you want for limitant.
Not to advise. Now one of the rules you make mention.
Well, one of the peripheral rules then. I don't want the peripheral.
Not necessary for
no. I tell you say peripheral.
The chief minister.
I tell you say advisory role na peripheral role na one day. I don't tell you say the office of the chief minister or the chief minister na enabler of the achievement of government policies. I don't tell you say the chief minister na person with the coordinate the efforts of various ministries and leverage synergies for delivery, right? For goal congruence, for delivery, and all that's in there. I know advisory role. Advisory role, the thing will make you may take the advice or not. So I know they make one of the biggest role. You know, Mr. Gat advisor there, but the prerogative is on me for taking the advice, and they are not say now as big as the presidency.
So discussing the president's prerogative here, you say now waste of time. You not think say the president they take this decision on behalf of the people and the people need for no.
No. What I know say the people they're interested in, His Excellency promised he will deliver free quality education. Has he delivered that 3 years on? His Excellency promised will ensure that we turn the economy around. Has that happened? He promised he will repeal the criminal libel. Has that happened? He promised he will do A, B, C, D.
That's an assumption. Say people not interested in other things.
No. So I simply tell you, say bottom line, people then that delivery they want. Okay. Not to whether he put Musa Kamara, they will not get no experience in governance. He has only worked at 19 or not. They're not interested in that. If Musa able to help the president deliver, that is what the public will be interested in.
So, Mr. Minister, as we continue to look at the cabinet reshuffling, we see the creation of a new ministry we get to do with the Western region. Yeah. Now, waiting at the functions of the minister where the president to appoint for that particular new ministry there.
Okay, so the ministry, the Western Region Minister, the president, a couple of years ago, we experiment with decentralization in the New Republic. We will now remove the positions of district officers. Yeah, going on for some time, government realized government presence was not felt, even though you been get local government administration at the place then. Right, so I want to get this context straight. That one then I may make them bring back district, the district officers and the DO then at the various districts. Then. So now Western area, yes, this is true. This is the seat of government, but you want a dedicated ministry with a look after affairs of the Western area, with the ensure development focus is zooming on the Western area. Where the president been the launch the mayor in project transform Freetown, it be very very clear. This is his Freetown. This is everybody's Freetown. Now we want the very best for the Western area, right? This is our city, amongst other things. So you want somebody who they get a dedicated commitment, who they zoom in, and where they focus on bringing developments and ensuring. Every now and then you hear about something, some program under. You need somebody who they dedicate to that. Because now one of the regions of the country, right? The Western urban, Western rural. Now one of them, now regions then, now district of the country, and this is a region. So you don't get regional ministers in the other place then. So it's all about fitting, you have the same approach everywhere.
So forget somebody where they zoom in and somebody where go focus in terms of developments for the city. The presidency not satisfied with the current administration of the Freetown City Council with all the projects we done they implement in terms of developing this particular Western area?
No, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about no council. Now you don't make a mention of it
because you said them bring this camp for like and
so let's ask this. Even before this president can power, you get Northern region, Eastern region. The presidents will not be happy, and not to today, not to one government. So we are merely saying, we reiterate a process. We want greater delivery. You remember, His Excellency been on declared this year as a year of accelerated delivery. So we want to ensure that Freetown is not left out of that delivery matrix. We want for zooming on her. Because if Freetown gets it right, Freetown are embodiment of Sierra Leone in more ways than one. We Boku visitor then can. This is what they see. So one for focused development and I also more. So you need a dedicated and exclusive minister with the focus.
You start with decentralization focus of the government, but me and you know see the decentralization policy is still not count.
Me and you.
The decentralization
talk
policy,
for Musa, not begin talk for
as
me.
a minister of information, the decentralization policy still not count to force it. Then government don't start to implement decentralization policies.
So could we have waited? Development does not wait. Our people from Freetown to Mongo to Fairo want delivery and they want accelerated development delivery. So we can't wait.
You talk about development goals. What are some of the areas development areas where the new ministry they focus on?
Every area. The same way where you see the northern minister, the Kanaya, and say, look, this microcredit owner they do Munafa fund. Me say one let me people then my region get this agriculture. Then they say look. We don't get so bowling land. We want investment now. We healthcare. You have somebody now who will not, the only left hand to the discretion of the Ministry of Health. You now get somebody where they say, look, I want my region to benefit more. So we are zooming in on Western area in a big way, like never before.
If the minister they zoom in on the Western area, what think will be the role of the mayor in development in the Western area?
Well, they can complement each other. Ever heard that? They can complement each other. In fact, that's the best synergy we want to build in the process.
The program is still listening to na Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Continue for sending message to the number 077-981-981. I come back to the Minister of Information and Communication, Mohammed Rahman Suare. They are this morning. They give a general updates on waiting on the happen our government so far. Before we take that issue, we better look inside the recent cabinet reshuffling where we see the office of the president don't do. And we just don't listen to our reports from the latest developments in governments where now the agreement where Salone government don't sign with SL Mining Company back. Well, of course, we just taken out from that report we don't listen where Mange puts together. From yesterday, we say the Minister of Mines be the give updates on what's don't happen for Salone so far in terms of the agreement only between SL Mining and the government of Salone. But before we can look deep into the issues, just start for tell with us how the government of Salone reached to that particular agreement. We just listen to the report.
And so, where you read His Excellency, then candidate, retired Brigadier Julius Madabio in New Direction Manifesto and in State Opening of Parliament Address, we will now commit say we will sanitize the minerals sector for ensure say we people then benefit from this God-given natural resources. We all know say this country will begin mining diamonds now in the 1930s, but when you go to mining communities, they are all dug out, large craters, grinding and horrendous poverty, so as a government commit say we will sanitize that sector for ensure greater beneficiation schemes to mining communities and to government. So this has been part of that thing there. There was a cancellation of SL mining licenses in 2019 because after that, then there will go arbitration. Arbitration don't linger off for some point, but in the wisdom of both parties, both the government of Sierra Leone and the SL Mining, the Gerald's group, we don't negotiate in the last, over the period, and we don't agree an out of court settlement. We believe, will serve the very best interests of all sides, will bring greater respectability to government, will give them the leverage for negotiate in the best interest of our country, and, ultimately helping we for achieve our objectives of ensuring greater benefits of Sierra Leoneans from mineral resources. We do not forget, a lot of reforms are going on at the mines and mineral sector right now. Under the leadership of President Bill, we don't just complete an airborne geophysical survey. We means, now government will get a scientific idea of how much natural resources we get in our country, in which quantities, and we side and day. I mean, reasonable scientific idea. Before now, mining companies in the Canada then spend 10, 15 years and say they're on exploration. During that time, what they take away, what they don't take away remains anybody's guess. So we want this na part of then reforms and what they do for make sure that Sierra Leoneans and benefits and government is in the driving seat of negotiations for with natural resources for the greater benefits of the people there. That one and the big focus annual or loss as we discuss this one. So this is not a standalone action.
They set the agenda for your own discussion.
Well, we not set the agenda for now. So Mr. Walker, Mr. Get me
yeah,
agenda.
Now we get the agenda now.
No, that's too presumptuous.
No,
you get your agenda, Mr.
Okay,
Get me your agenda as government spokesman.
You describe this deal as one of the best deals in mining.
Absolutely.
Why you describe it that way?
So, first, there are a few misconceptions, and if I correct them, first off, under the Mines and Minerals Act, where you get a concession, within the underground, within the upper day, the minerals there, like you heard the minister talk, now SL mining being get their minerals in before the cancellation, right? So when we choose to do a deal, we'll choose for freeze the actions and recalibrate. So the iron ore, if they been sell and that end before we cancel, government only entitled to 3% royalties. 3% royalties, right? And now when there was Salone government of don't get no lay in honor, no special rights. During the negotiation, like I say, like the president they always talk, we put Sierra Leoneans at the heart and center of our negotiations. This Naomi Franklin so play hardball for make sure say we will not be entitled to pass 3%, we don't get an absolute $20 million, right? But the calculations we then do an estimate and expenditure, you could find out say that is about you could get something like $41-42 million sales, the profit with the left. So we share that. Sierra Leone is getting something like 48% of her. We were not entitled to it. We are only entitled to 3%. So this is hardball. We put Sierra Leone first in the negotiations, and that make we think say in sync with the president in commitment. We want to make sure that this country benefits more from a God-given natural resources. That's number one. Number two, another cardinal feature of this binding MOU, now the fact say, for the very first time again, we wittingly get 10% undiluted shares, free carried shares in the foreign-owned company, right? This is clairvoyant leadership. Now leaders are what they think big and ahead for their country. And the Salone people, they will like for talk about them Botswana, but them police, and they down them way, and they then go forget to outside, and they you want for make sure say you natural resources benefit the people there. So negotiate very hard for make sure say this time around we not only get chicken change, we not only get tokens or small royalties for natural resources. Let's also be owners now. So we have 10%. Yeah.
You keep mentioning the 10% we Salone don't get in foreign company.
We really start out to get something like 40%.
But this is 10% you talk about.
Yeah,
we of course not automatic. If the company not get dividends or not turn out dividends, this one no they actualize. If the company increase the operation cost and tell you say they not make profits, this 10% not automatic we they talk about.
No, so I understand from where I sit and where I sit. I come up from the private sector. They're not the left hand so no more. We not talk, we not forget verifiable and verified expenditure there. So not to tell where they go say, hey, now so spend, think of any figure. No. But like when you say your own business, you put it there. You're not gonna for its profit, if profit not there. So let's understand that one day. But when it is profitable, if you say a business, the profit not there, you don't have profit. You know they eat profit. You know they shape profit, give you paddy or you wife, I don't say you not married it or you don't marry. If you don't marry,
Mr. Minister, let me go back to Usai.
Friend profit because profit not there.
Let me go back to Usai. The whole thing been starts from the cancellation of the former license where they been get because we been host the enemy boss now we categorically been state say that was the best decision for Salone. Waiting change we make Salone go back for go renegotiate back with.
Well, also think saying that been the best decision for Salone. No, nothing wrong with that.
So
if we not be do that, if we not be do that one, waiting don't change. Everything don't change. Everything don't change. Like I say, if they been sell the iron ore, we been do that thing. Salone been get no entitlement to anything, any profit we then get from her. So now 3% royalty for don't get something, now 1-2 million for don't end up with, right? And that's the iron ore prices been there at rock bottom, right? So everything don't change. Even the gods are in our favor. Iron ore prices don't rise. We are getting $20 million. Party for don't get $2 or $3 million. So that's a phenomenal change, a quantum change now one day, right? Number two, we don't now get 10% shares, undiluted. Like I talked about that interview. If we start the business capital na 100 million now, and like we make 100 billion, we still get 10% of 100 billion. You can imagine that. I'm not sabi do the math. So this is a bold vision to actualize.
So
that one not been there for the last agreement. Yeah.
Even though that
number 3, we now enter this agreement as a very respected member, a very respected partner, a very respected ownership. You know, the thing that will be characterized during the acrimonious days. We are a small country, but the whole world respect. We say when we felt badly done by, we stand up, we raise our voice, and we are counted. So this is respect for us as a country.
So with that respect for Salone,
so we're able to negotiate now with respect. Yeah.
So with that respect,
yeah,
waiting stop Salone for going for a better one compared to the 10%, because now we get waiting we get. So if somebody want for come, let we negotiate to go for a higher range, taking into consideration now we get with property.
So let us commend this quantum leap. In the history of a country, we not don't get it before. I don't hear people that mention Ruta. Like using some opportunities for Dispel. We have shares in Ruta.
We go for count to that for Dispel, but let me just respond to that one.
So we not be getting nothing before. This is from zero,
able for good for
the base,
something better.
No, the baseline was zero.
In as much as the 10% is good, but if na me get me property, I go into negotiation with somebody, I go for something higher, not a 10% of the shares.
Oh, you know, Yerime, I said we started off with a 40% bid.
So now waiting.
We aspire, but then I make the call a negotiation.
So
you don't necessarily get what you want in a negotiation.
We make not just
you
10%
don't because you did no more. Before now, all these years from who begin mining diamonds and minerals now from the 1930s, we don't one day get this. So this is a huge beginning. This is a good beginning.
So we just want for no waiting go wrong.
We could have done that, but the people that they do all the expenditure and the mining very expensive, by the way. Just nothing say they just go to cancel. Mining expensive. I don't work for all the mining companies, and I clearly know this. It's in the billions. Now, highly capital intensive industry there. So you only require a government. We're not self-seeking, a selfless government. We want for turn around the 14th of a country for play that kind of hardball. We President Bill in team play for all get 10%. We started off with 40%. We aimed at a mountain. We fell on a hill. Still better, we did not fall on the ground. We have been on the ground since diamonds. We started mining diamonds. So we have gotten up. We don't reach a mountain. We don't reach a hill. We'll get to the mountain and we'll keep climbing.
We still get the Minister of Information and Communication, Mohammed Rahman Swari, they talk on the mining agreement where government don't go in with SL mining. Mr. Minister, you talk about the 10% share we Salone don't get, and you make mention of mining now expensive something. I asked you earlier, if the company make dividends, now in Salone they get this 10%. As you back mentioned, say it's very expensive. This 10% is not automatic. And also, if you're a shareholder in a company, if loss come, you have the shared liability. What's the arrangement in that direction in this agreement?
Now, free carried share. Free carried share. You don't get no capital. You know they contribute to the operating capital, the investment capital. You are getting it because you get a clairvoyant government who will get the country at heart. This was hardball. Now make will get her. You know the loss nothing. If mining, if iron ore prices fall to the ground, you are not losing anything in any circumstance. But if there is a reason for smile, you smile all the way to the bank.
If this company operates for the next 5 years, as the case may be, and tell you say they don't make profits, I want to go track that for getting 10%.
Now government they talk about tell when I say like you go give somebody ice water, I say go sell my ice water, I don't make profit. This is a government. We get structures and strictures in place. You cannot come lie to us. The global commodity price will all sabi. We sabi the investment portfolio. How can you come lie to us? A profit not there, but if you there, you know, we lie to. We are responsible government.
What will I don't put in place for track that?
Okay, so watch this space. I am telling you, take it on me. You get a fiduciary unit at the Ministry of Finance. You get the enemy, you get all the institutions in place for make sure say we know what is happening.
You go track them, but if the company, for instance, put in operation cost up, nobody no go tell and say no to this rate they operate at.
But Musa, look, let's get serious with this conversation. You are moving around in circles, my friend. You don't do this. This is not something you do. Right? This is not something you do.
Now then they do their operation.
No, but sorry.
Sorry. Now then they do the operations.
Sorry, I'm not joining you to move around in circles. It's getting unproductive. Let's get this conversation serious.
How the public go get this particular agreement? How they go see them?
The agreement is public. When I leave here, I'm going to publish it.
Oh, sorry.
It's published already. At the publisher and I should say, go to the Ministry of Mines website. If you know did it go did it later today. It go to the Ministry of Information
now,
website.
How long Salone going into this agreement with SL Mining for?
How long? Well, important also for note, another critical hallmark of this binding MOU. Now the fact say a new mining lease is going to be negotiated. A new company is going to be formed. In order for be SL Mining again. A new company is going to be formed. New company, Marampa, for Marampa Mines, for operating at the Marampa Mine concession. Then go for negotiate a new mining lease agreement.
So now for how
everything.
long?
Then go for do a new environmental impact assessment.
This one we don't.
All now one day now will determine. This one will talk regarding this. This now for this one of iron ore we did it. But all of this a new process now to begin. A new beginning completely.
How long?
How long the process don't just start.
All right, continue further with the program. Mohamed Rahman Sware, Minister of Information and Communication.
The program na Good Morning Salone, we come to you from 98.1 FM. We still get the Minister of Information and Communication, Mohamed Rahman Sware, inside the studio. Mr. Minister, one of the agreements na $20 million to Salone 2 times per month, per year, according to the Minister of Mines, from the stockpile. What is the worth of the stockpile, out of which Salone they get $20 million?
So, this one, a very important question, now the context no more, because first, we don't establish the fact that not to Salone get the stockpile, right? Now, SL Mining mined stockpile, not to we get at all, right? And if we've been selling prior to the cancellation, the only thing we'll be entitled to, low as our prices were around the world, and have been 3% royalties. So, the question of asking how much it was, I'm not going to say on top of my head, but rough calculations where the Ministry of Mines then do, with them, we know say from profit, Sierra Leone will be getting something like 48% of the profit, which translates to $20 million. We will not be not all we get it all. Now they may not minor. Yes, by law we're entitled to 3% royalties. I think that one day they're the takeoff point for this conversation. We need to be very crystal clear about that. Yeah.
You think $20 million for Salone from a stockpile, we, according to you, don't know the worth right now. Now, one way Salone deserve?
Yes, because we're not all been getting. Now 3% royalty will be entitled to, but that stockpile, we never owned it. And we will get to that one day. Lord, not short change with listeners there, viewers na Facebook. Salone not be entitled to this stockpile, na SL Mining stockpile. Now because of hard negotiations with the people and government in mind, make we able extract this concession also. So I think that one day for thinking, not in the issue.
So this much talked about 10% we now the agreements with Salone on the into the SL Mining. How it different from that of the ECOWAS mineral resources policy harmonization for West Africa, where the states back for say 10% for shares for go to the country we get in natural resources when they go into any agreement. How it different?
Well, I know they have to establish a difference. Where ECOWAS can do that in the or other organizations to which you belong. I'll not forget say other organizations and they will be known say governments and from time forget 15% of the budget allocated to health, so percent to education, so percent to this, that. Governments are not the keeper so no more. Now this government don't can exceed the budgetary allocation, for example, to free quality education. And to health, we don't increase with budgetary allocation. But the significant point now is government don't demonstrate a lot of goodwill and for make sure say we don't day ahead. Because we mine minerals policy when at the parent document we work by right now, it's work in progress and not make that kind of provision. So we are ahead of ourselves in terms of a progressive legislation.
So this 10% different from the one where the ECOWAS, the young policy, the
Okay, so la use this
because naturally
opportunity.
the state say the country forget the 10%.
Okay, la use this opportunity for explain more things to family. You know, where governments then sign up any commitment na the international committee. Whether you go na African Union, whether you go na Africa, whether you go na United Nations, whether you go na ECOWAS, whether na Mano River Union, Organization of Islamic Countries, whatever we not talk about, for let it become binding on the country, you get for can domesticate her. Okay? So Sierra Leone has not domesticated that ECOWAS 10% we talk about. We are in the process of reviewing our Mines and Minerals Act, and that is something we might look at. But every option is on the table. So the important thing is that with or without a domesticated 10% in, this government don't move ahead of itself, ahead of the ECOWAS.
So now waiting in the documents that one the way the government don't implement so.
Waiting?
In as much as you say government don't ratify them yet, but now waiting the inside the nine we see don't happen so.
Well, so this is a very, very progressive government. Not to today, Candy, you know that. They will begin mining diamonds now, minerals since 1930s. Not to today, Candy. You know, so we're a very progressive administration. Even when we Mines and Minerals Act, they under review because we want to put her in sync with other Mines and Minerals Act and other international commitments there for make sure so people then benefit more. We still don't go ahead and get progressive and get a 10% undiluted shares now as the new company.
Now we look at the role of the enemy boss. We all know the role where he play, or we see the role where he been played during the lock or the closing of these mines. But signing the new agreements, it not be available. Why the enemy boss not been there around for signing this agreement? In as much as in agency they deal with the mining company.
So people that may ask me a similar question. You know, before we talk about Sierra Leone, they can establish the first national cyber incident response team. Before we can talk about technical support for put together with cybercrime bill. Now maybe go na Ethiopia and make a case for Sierra Leone because the president may not say a one for left behind a digitally connected Sierra Leone. So with that, and we'll get majority of young people then they use digital platforms and make a compelling case for Sierra Leone for support. With that team they can unfortunately, even though they don't do all the background work, Rado Suare not been there. People then they look at the picture there. They say, hey, where Rado? Rado not been there. I was busy with other official engagements. So I tell you what you saw as an agreement. People that not ask me on other platforms there. Say, look, we see you, we see the AG, we see this, we not see the NMA boss. Well, but other people then they beyond the NMA boss, we contribute, so we say we did today. But not to everybody get for day at a signing ceremony. Where the president will demonstrate all the goodwill. He was not there.
This scenario where you create
why you saw in the photos.
We talk about.
Why you saw in the photos.
We see the
end product. The end product. A lot of background work had gone into.
We see the role. We see the role of the enemy boss, and we see the position where it been taken. In the negotiation and signing of the contract, not available. They send a signal. In as much as Nenge for work with this company, and we see the loggerhead with this company before it closed down.
Okay, when I not say at the picture then at the signing ceremony.
So, Mr. Minister, waiting at the role we play in this whole process. Say we reach to the signing, waiting at the role where the enemy boss play in
How is that important? What is important is that we have to talk a good deal for Sierra Leone.
No, it's important.
I don't tell una say, first off, I don't tell una say.
So if we dey go into a new contract, waiting at the role where he play in all of this.
So I don't start the conversation by saying, what una see so, na finished product.
So
would have been a signing ceremony? Would have not been a signing ceremony?
I'm not talking about the signing ceremony.
No. I've asked the same question along the same thing. We are not seeing visibility.
Play now
we are not seeing visibility. Now NMA, now they hold all the data. Now they drive many things relating to mining in this country. So we got the seamless cooperation of the NMA in the course of doing this work. So let person not join. This was not an event. This was a process. So if you know they know the picture, may not be the part of the process, because it reach information.
We need to talk about the picture again. We'll talk about the process.
Okay,
we'll talk about.
I think say what I explain say this was a long process that culminated into a signing ceremony. That should take care of that.
So at this stage, any regrets there as to how far Salone be don't come out with all the struggles with this particular company, gonna court back and forth. Any regret there at this stage as to the advice we then be give the president initially?
Well, so let me say this and be very emphatic about them. Whatever happened yesterday is a council check. That is water under the bridge. We are a learning government. We'll take a deep introspection. Whatever law, we will reflect on them. If there are lessons to be learned, we will learn it. But we are very happy that we have emerged out of this a much respected nation, a stronger nation with bigger bargains for our country.
Any regrets? We
are very happy that we don't emerge out of this with a bigger deal for people. Then our people are returning to work. They will be much more respected. Our local suppliers will all be paid whatever is due there. Those who have been in SL mining employment will have their employment rights duly protected. We are very, very pleased that we stood up tall as a small country to make a case and we are listened to. So we could not have asked for more.
Inside the whole issues that maybe happen along the line, waiting government's land as to go into agreements?
Well, so you negotiate very hard like we have done in this case to win the things we have won for Sierra Leone. We have learned that.
You think, say, this na win for Salone after the country in name don't go na the international community for the wrong reason and government don't waste copper on international lawyers and also local lawyers in fighting the case. People go out of employment.
That is so very sad the way you look at it. You too one-dimensional. I don't tell when I say, as a country, small country then hardly stand up so for the right. You know, people then say we don't do mineral, natural resource nationalism. We stood up for many sure say we'll get the best deal for natural resources. We're a small country, but we're a very respected member of the international community who stood up and then listen to we don't come back, we renegotiate, we don't get shares, which we never had before, we can get, instead of 3%, $20 million, and all employment rights will be respected. Our people are returning to work, the communities will get bubbly again. We are very excited.
So the name of the country...
lessons, but look, we have made a name as a country, though small, that has stood up tall to challenge big players, and we don't come to a compromise with the work for people there. We feel very, very proud.
So, Minister, let me look at messages. We take commercial break and come over to you for a spot. We look at messages where people don't send.
Okay.
Now, the Facebook page, Ishmaelis, they ask, say, with this new deal, government go still comply with the Court of Arbitration then ruling. Now, question where they ask.
This one say, what will the people in the country gain at the end from the negotiation and 10%?
We look at small messages where people don't send at the program. This same Mr. Minister of Information, your explanation on the undiluted interest is not quite true, sir. The 10% non-diluted interest is based on a recent ECOWAS protocol for all mining agreements in the sub-region. It's even included in the revised mineral bill. So this is the first time it's been implemented in Sierra Leone. It's not going to be the last. Any mining agreement of such nature coming out in future has to include the 10% diluted interest. It's a law.
This one say, my concern is how will the government representatives to the mining be monitored? We continue for look at more messages. We go now we Facebook and this one say mines agreement was okay. I hope the president will not differentiate the Minister of Justice from the Attorney General's office. I'm foreseeing that the line still long up. Okay.
All right, to look at more messages. Amara Alpha, they say the settlement between the SL Mining Company and government of Sierra Leone is a welcoming news and timely. Bravo to the new direction government of President Bio for a job well done.
This one from Joseph Cisse now Facebook. They say, Mr. Minister, your method of answering questions is not correct. Bio is not voted and appointed. You should not give us bad talks.
All right. From the message, and let we take a short commercial break and come back to the minister for respond.
EcoBank, the leading bank na Salone.
Oh, Kadi, speed ayo, say they go soon.
Jibril, na EcoBank Kadi go. I need money for pay for mama in operation. But I remember the waste time and I need that money there for that operation now.
But Kadi, no need for going to banko.
Why?
EcoBank gets express points all over town. In fact, the pharmacy near Winaya, an agent for EcoBank.
Okay.
You go able withdraw money there. Apart from that, you able put money in your account, transfer money, buy top up, pay school fee, and even buy headset to pop na any EcoBank Express point.
I no even now for tell you thank you, Sef Jibril. I no think say EcoBank go see me just now.
I say, from the time when me know, I no mass na EcoBank 30 day. Titi life no wayagba, and that make EcoBank don't turn with neighbor. Farm go them. For you Monday to Sunday banking, go na any EcoBank Express point for easy banking na you area.
No yakba.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
EcoBank, the leading bank na Salone.
When you buy and service your Toyota vehicle to the right people them, you know they get one a that. And that's na Sika Motors Sierra Leone Limited, na 21 Bible Road Kisi Freetong. Sika Motors na the only authorized distributor for Toyota vehicle and genuine Toyota spare parts them na the country for Toyota Motors Corporation of Japan. Them vehicle and design for meet the weather condition of this country. Them make them vehicle then specially for meet the utility, commercial, private, and executive vehicular need. You go get 3 year or 100,000 kilometer warranty. In Otapdeo, you go get license and registration with free regular service up to 15,000 kilometer for any Toyota vehicle where you buy from Sika Motors. With the state-of-the-art workshop, we get modern diagnostic machine them together with trained technician them go give you vehicle the service precision where it need, where that go give you the collage where you deserve. For no more about Sika Motors Sierra Leone Limited, go na number 21 Bible Road Kisi Freetong. Telephone 088 012 350 and 088 012 355. Sika Motors Sierra Leone Limited, the party where you for believe, forget original and quality Toyota vehicle and spare parts them.
From 98.1 FM, we look at few text message quickly and come to the minister for respond. This one says, Mr. Minister, if you are saying this is the first time government is owning shares in an international mining company, you are confirming Dr. Samras Kamara's statement that government never had shares in Sierra Rutile. Another one, they say, quick one, Mr. Minister, let us look at the whole process. Government lost 2 stages of the arbitration, so they went to the table a little demoralized. And with these companies, each time they bring forward financial payment, government stands to lose big time. You keep stressing about a free carried interest. There is nothing like free carriage interest. All operational costs are recoverable. What is making this fee carried? Is the cost here to not recoverable because this will affect several aspects of revenue? This from concerned citizens where they listen to the program.
All right, this final one, Mr. We'll look at before we come to the minister. It say if Sierra Leone has finally renegotiated with SL Mining Company, it means they should reappoint Rado Yoki back to the Ministry of Mines, because it was due to this same negotiation process that he was in favor of and he was sacked along the line. Can the minister please confirm? From that message, and they'll come over to you, Mr. Minister.
Well, so this minister now repeats a station of the main broadcasting station. This minister no get appointment rights, and no get any rights. I don't even know why my colleague and brother was relieved of his duties in a presidential prerogative exercise, you know. But I should say the president said, can they listen? So that one they are not going to comment on. And before that, somebody don't talk about the recent ECOWAS protocol. I happy say a pre-modifier recent. Because it is recent, you look around ECOWAS countries there. I want to let that person show me then how many countries in ECOWAS don't implement that. You know, Boku countries, they're not domesticated it. Sierra Leone has not domesticated it. Everyone will not domesticate them, because this government, under the new direction, care about people there. And the president may not always bemoan the fact, say, even though minerals that will be not discovered and since the 1930s, the country not benefits it. So use this as an opportunity for make sure, say, yes, we pivot to position and our country benefit. I think that one is a very important thing. With or without ECOWAS protocol, we have done this. Sierra Leone at the moment bound by it at all, because it's not domesticated. But we have been very clairvoyant. The president don't look into the seas of time. He don't take that decision. other people then don't say this is a very welcome move. The negotiations and the thing they will walk back with from the negotiating table. That's very good. Somebody don't talk, say, well, me don't vindicate Dr. Samora Kamara say, we been say, well, me no don't hear been say, we not get shares. I say, that share we Salome get na be by default. We did not seek out. We did not set out originally for get shares anyway. Now, because they could not meet some obligations, make we convert them to shares. But that's a conversation for another day. Now, a subject of a court hearing and all of that. I know they go deep down, but this is the very first time a government, a Sierra Leone government, under the leadership of President Bill, don't seek out, say, look, now we get them minerals. Yeah, Lord say begin for get ownership rights now. Lord begin for get saying at the table. Lord they in the driving seat. This is very progressive policy. Somebody don't say they're not like the way they answer questions there. Well, that's an opinion. I wish that person would tell me how I want to answer questions there. That will be something where I go like. But then say, we tell the dog, now for tell the bone seller not look too succulent, right? So it's a two-way path. The way they answer question there, let also tell the one where they ask me, you know. I mean, it takes two to tango.
But they come for answer questions.
But anyway, they ask them.
Yeah, you come for answer.
Oh, but now the answer, I say another answer. I answer them. Lord left for that one. Then I respond to question. You want to bring other question. So to that person, then I respond to question. Oh, no, don't give me. I scrupulously in the notes and now respond. Okay. How the interest will be monitored? That's we get a fiduciary unit. Now the Ministry of Finance. We get the NMA. We get mechanisms then for monitor that, because as shareholders there, we get for make sure say we maximize we rights and we get into the place there. But this has to be commended. So just as we now the round up, I want for go over some of the key takeaways there from this.
Look, quick one.
MOU.
This text message where the person they ask about this free carriage or we talk about free carriage interest.
The person not quite. I think say me and the person. I don't think say we'll get the same understanding of her, but the acceptable understanding and that even without share capital, you are getting an interest in a business, which is what is the current case. We have never had that before, so we are having this free carried interest and undiluted. That means whether the capital continue for growth to whatever it is, we still get 10%. So the bigger the capital infused into the business, the better and the more we will walk away with as Sierra Leone for just being owners of the natural resources, some feats we have never enjoyed since we started mining minerals here in the 1930s. This is a quantum leap. This is a phenomenal success. Yes, we could ask for more, and we did ask for more, but ended up with this. It's a good beginning.
Earlier, when you start for talk, you talk about the government's commitment in the new direction manifesto in ensuring the mining sector be transparent. And I'll take you to one of the mining companies that we operate in Salone now.
Yeah,
we are the Kingo mining company.
Yeah.
We then agreements now studied and rectify in parliament according to the updates from the Kingo mining. And we don't see this company begin exports before this time. How transparent this will be? You begin exports before they rectify you in a parliament or they agree for your contract.
Okay, so there are clear processes. There are very, very clear processes, right? We then see they can come, you can go cabinet first, right? We can go cabinet don't give concurrence, they not approval. Now precondition say you for can go parliament, but not to precondition say before you implement any facet of it has to be ratified. The ratification is the icing on the cake, right? So nothing has gone wrong in the case of now that making a crown go they not keep her under the table, they still crown go let fumble and see everything what they happen. So this is transparency and accountability. President Bill been pledged to that.
So the new company where you say Naingo for operates after this agreement, we don't see. So you say government go for going to another agreement. We go determine as to how long that company they go for come operates in the country.
Yeah.
Then people maybe don't they work previously, don't they get concerns? Then get any chance in this new company where they come as to giving them their job back?
Yeah. So I don't mention in the beginning. Probably that one they get lost in translation. I don't mention and say. Part of the negotiation, no Sierra Leonean will be get job with them company here in rice then will be jeopardized. no local supplier or contractor and rights will be jeopardized as a result of this transition. The government in particular is keen about that because this is a government to the
Explain what that mean, because we see what happen for the issue of SALCAB. We no want for going to Dande again. So just explain what you mean, say, no Sierra Leoneans, them rights not going to be jeopardized in this new agreement.
And you know, if you mention SALCAB in passing, Mr. They mention in passing, and no Sierra Leonean rights in SALCAB have been jeopardized. Every process what they do, they conform to standard due processes, right? So
now this one me they ask now.
Well, this one said at the same thing. This one said at the same thing. I mean, I know say they go take boku of them workers and or almost all of them, but in the unlikely event they don't, they'll have to comply and conform with all existing labor laws in our country. No two ways about that. No two ways.
So the
president is keen and clear about that. He has never equivocated that.
In terms of employment,
absolutely.
Within the agreement.
You see, say then at the press release where the Minister of Mines issued on that in signature.
You talk about my colleague Ali asked you about the ECOWAS 10% for countries that Musa mining and they operate, and you say we not look at that 8 and already Salone don't get 10% share na SL mining.
Yeah.
Is it gonna or we go for see Salone get 20% when we get for see the ECOWAS agreements ratified in the SL mining?
Well, we'll still discuss the Mines and Minerals Act, and I want to use this opportunity for ask Sierra Leoneans, like a UNACEF, law all get interest, law make input into it, because that is going to be the Bible of the sector.
We can look at that. Salone will get 20% share.
No, but I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to commit to that at all. I'm not going to commit to that at all. Salone will even want to get 50. We started off with 40%. That's to tell you how ambitious we were in the negotiation.
If as earlier you mentioned, say government committed for ensure say the mining sector boom and Salone people benefit of and ECOWAS acts the way they ensure, or ECOWAS directives the way they give that right to countries, them the government not still look at that. Why the delay?
Why the delay? Who's then, let's talk about agreements that will get all the facts. Who's then and promulgate that agreement? Who's then and sign that protocol? You don't know. The person will ask the question. It's very recent. This is very recent. I can tell you among ECOWAS countries, probably only 1 or 2 don't implement that. So Sierra Leone is just being progressive
is so committed
because
to RAM,
we get a progressive and clairvoyant leadership.
If Salone is so committed to RAM, will they get a new agreement with SL Mining? This for them be the forward.
Which one?
The ECOWAS agreement.
No, but because you get for domesticator in your policy, and policies are not events; they are processes. Consultations get for happen. Now, when I say more, ask me now, Parliament say, consult more on the cybercrime bill. Yes, so consultation is very important. You may take a long time to do it, but just make sure say you bring all facets of what you're putting into it. So that is ongoing. I want to encourage the media and all other stakeholders who are interested for letting them show some interest and input into that review of the Mines and Minerals Act.
So as we wrap up the program now, I take you back to say, we may start the discussion we get for do with the cabinet reshuffling, and I wrap them up with the creation of the Ministry for Western Region, and that of waiting we see the council they do. You assure Salone people and say we not get for see duplicates of waiting they happen now the council currently and that of the Ministry of Western Region.
No, we want to make sure say I don't know why we want for, but I understand. I mean, the country too negative. We then establish a minister for this region, looking at both western and urban, rural and urban western area. Now the synergies that we then will leverage now for good member. How then they complement each other, nine in the member. Like I tell you now, when we see glass, I know they say the glass half empty. Because I'm a very positive person. I say the glass half full.
I ask for duplicating functions.
When I say so, they will complement each other. They will iterate each other rather
thank you very much. We joined at the program this morning.
The
thank you. We can at the program this morning. Minister of Information and Communication, Mohammed Rahman Swari. We give you the updates on waiting on the happen so far in our government. Now this edition of the program, Good Morning Salone, go left for plenty. Thank you to the production team. Michael Sambola and Alex Torres Kruma produced the program. DJ Ahmad give you technical support. Moses Kavra make on us live on Facebook. So till we meet again, Mabel Kabadi say goodbye.
And Musa Eskamara say bye-bye.
Yes, subscribe. You always dey watch we program them, but you not subscribe yet to the channel. all wetin you get for do, press this red subscribe button and then you come over here to and press this bell. To the bell option, press this one with all. It don't done. It no get for cost you anything. When you do this, na sign for show say you dey support we for make we do more. Thank you for your help we for share this program. Yeah, God bless you.